It all comes down to this. Only one race left in the Perfect 8 Cup Series, Season 2. A champion will be crowned tonight here in beautiful Chandler, Arizona at the Chandler Motor Speedway for the Kolbe Academy 300. We will end the season in the same place we began the season almost 2 years ago. It's been a long ride, but now it's time to decide a champion. Hello, I'm Paul Jones with my colleague Cletus Bojangles beside me, set to call tonight's season finale for the Perfect 8 Cup Series Season 2. It has been a treacherous 14 races for our Perfect 8 Cup Series competitors, with our drivers having to take on a diversity of many racetracks, which require many different disciplines. We've raced at 1.5 mile ovals, road courses, rovals, high bank short tracks, and flat bank ovals at places all over the country from Washington to New Hampshire. Now it's time to end the season at another unique racetrack. Chandler Motor Speedway is perhaps the hardest racetrack on the Perfect 8 Cup Series circuit. Cletus, why don't you tell them a little bit about the Speedway?
Thank you, Paul. Well, it's great to be back in the booth with you. At first glance, Chandler has an Indianapolis type shape to it, but the track is nothing like Indy. Let's start in turn 1. Now, turn 1 is a very narrow 90-degree turn. The drivers are taking this corner at very high speeds. There's no give or take in turn 1. It's a heavy braking turn, one minor slip, and you're in the wall. The amazing part, and I think it really shows the skill set and the talent of these drivers, is that they're able to go through turn 1 side by side. Either way though, turn 1 is a difficult corner to navigate.
And it's still a difficult corner to navigate, even though the Speedway has redone the inside wall for turn 1 to get the drivers just a little more racing room.
Yeah, before it was redone, it was even narrower. It was extremely difficult. You had to get very high up against the wall, and you really had to dive bomb into turn 1.
Turn 2 is quite different from turn 1, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Saying it's different is really an understatement. It's a wide sweeping turn, very much unlike turn 1. Now the drivers are off the gas in turn 1. Turn 2, they're full throttle as they're picking up their momentum out of turn 1 into turn 2. And then of course you have the back stretch. So you see a big difference between the cars handling well and not handling well in how fast they're able to get through turn 2.
Definitely, especially since the backstretch here at Chandler is so wide. I mean, it's Auto Club wider, probably about as wide as Auto Club at least. I mean, we'll see 3, 4, 5 wide on the backstretch. There's just so much room to try and complete a pass, especially coming off turn 2.
Yeah, and backstretch is really the place on this racetrack to complete a pass. The thing you want to do as a driver is you want to get yourself set up correctly in turn 2. So when you come off of turn 2 into that long backstretch going into turn 3, you can make your pass. So the way that they're going to do it, they're going to draft right up to the back of the car in front, just like super speedway style, and try to slingshot heading into turn 3. And the backstretch on restarts also is going to be very hairy.
Yeah, turn 3 is more of a corner where you let off the throttle, and we'll see many different racing lines through turn 3. We'll see drivers hitting the apex at the yellow line, and we'll even see drivers going onto the apron. And then we'll even see drivers going up really high, running, I guess, the Kyle Larson line, almost skimming the outside wall. That's how Kyle Larson won 2 years ago, using that line to pass on the outside lane. So what do you think about turn 4?
Turn 4 is another braking corner. Just like turn 1, the advantage of turn 4 as opposed to turn 1, of course, is you're already braking, so you're starting to get back into the throttle, but you can't quite get back into the throttle like you can on turn 2 because the front stretch is not as sweeping as the back stretch. So while it's another braking corner, and the drivers do tend to get through turn 4 well, and it's very important because you're coming to the start-finish line, obviously out of turn 4. So if the car rotates well through the middle of the corner, then you're going to have success coming out of turn 4. The preferred lane is to hug that yellow line through turn 4.
Now that we've introduced the track to the viewers, let's take a look at the drivers who are contending for the championship tonight. Season 2 of the Perfect 8 Cup Series has been one to remember. Through 14 races, we have seen everything, from photo finishes to last lap wrecks and last lap passes. It has been a chaotic season for sure, but 6 drivers have survived the chaos and have a shot to win the P8CS Season 2 crown. Let's meet our contenders who will battle for 25 laps to decide the Perfect 8 Cup Series Season 2 Championship. First, let's meet our current points leader, Kevin Harvick. Harvick has had a quiet but consistent season. While the closer has failed out to close out any wins this season, he has remained consistent all season long. He has 8 top 5s and 9 top 10s to his name with an average finish of 8.7. Other than a 26th place finish at New Hampshire, Harvick has posted finishes within the top 20. In the past 6 races, Harvick has scored 5 top 5 finishes with a lowest finish of 6th place at the Charlotte Roval. Harvick almost won at Chandler, which hosted the first race of Season 2 years ago before losing out to a late race charge by Kyle Larson. Harvick has a 2-point lead over second place in points, Ryan Blaney. If Harvick's statistics for the last 6 races are impressive, Blaney's can only be considered mind-boggling. After a slow start to the season where the only notable moment of the number 12 Penske driver was being wrecked on the last lap by AJ Allmendinger while leading the Wisconsin Roval race, Blaney fought back and has come alive in the past 6 races. After scoring a mediocre 15th at Memphis, Blaney scored a 2nd place finish at New Hampshire, and then he followed this performance up with 5th place run at El Paso, a 7th place run at Evergreen, and a 3rd place run at Charlotte. After another mediocre finish at the Charlotte Roval, Blaney pulled off the unthinkable, winning back-to-back races at South Mountain and Phoenix Raceway. Harkening back to Season 1 when he won back-to-back races at El Paso and Radiator Springs. So far, the Arizona Desert has been kind to Blaney. While he DNF'd his first time here at Chandler, momentum is certainly on Blaney's side. He is only 2 points back on Harvick. Is it possible that he could take away the Season 2 championship from the closer and take it home himself? Sitting in 3rd place in the championship standings is the stalwart Joe Gibbs and FedEx driver Denny Hamlin. Hamlin made little noise for the first half of the season. Much like Kevin Harvick, Hamlin remained consistent though, and he knocked off 4 top 5s and 5 top 10 finishes throughout the first 9 races of the season. Hamlin then solidified his name as a championship threat in race 10 as he scored the victory at Evergreen Speedway, propelling himself into the points lead. Since his triumphant victory at Evergreen, Hamlin has been unable to muster good finishes. After 11th and 12th place finishes at Charlotte, he was caught up in a late race wreck at South Mountain, finishing 17th, and then turned in another 11th place finish at Phoenix. With help from his fellow championship contenders, Hamlin remains only 10 points behind in hunting distance of Harvick. To capture the championship tonight, Hamlin needs either to win or hope that his championship rivals falter or wreck. While Harvick, Blaney, and Hamlin are the favorites to win the championship, 3 more drivers lurk in the not-too-far distance, seeking to pounce if the opportunity presents itself. Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Larson went into the 14th race of the season at Phoenix as the top 3 in points. The championship battle looked to be between these 3 drivers, all within 5 points of one another. That is until a lap 5 wreck at Phoenix took them all out of the race. This opened the door for Kevin Harvick, Ryan Blaney, and Denny Hamlin to make their moves and surpass the once favorites for the championship. While it is a long shot for one of these drivers to win the championship, it is possible. Jimmy Johnson sits on the pole for tonight's race, while Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch will roll off 2nd and 4th respectively. While it's possible, it will take a lot of blood, sweat, and luck to see one of these drivers leave Chandler as the Season 2 champion. Kyle Busch sits 4th in the point standings, 16 points back on points leader Kevin Harvick. Kyle's season started out strong as he took in 5 top 5s and 6 top 10 finishes throughout the first 8 races of the season, with a painstakingly close 2nd place finish at Bristol. After a scuffle with Kevin Harvick at New Hampshire, which saw the M&M's Camry parked for wrecking Harvick under the caution flag, Kyle Busch persevered the very next week, winning at El Paso and beating out Harvick, who he wrecked the week before in an exciting battle to the finish. After 3rd, 4th, 10th, and 5th place runs at Evergreen, both Charlotte races at South Mountain, Kyle found his championship hopes in jeopardy after the lap 5 wreck at Phoenix. But Rowdy has persevered in the past. Will he persevere tonight and win the Season 2 championship at Chandler? Jimmy Johnson is probably the feel-good story of the year. His NASCAR Cup Series struggles carried over into the Perfect 8 Cup Series as he saw minimal results during the first 9 races of the season, scoring only 1 top 5 and 4 top 10 finishes. Sitting 7th in the standings before going into Evergreen, the 48 machine suddenly came alive, scoring a second-place finish at Evergreen before winning and sweeping both Charlotte races, propelling that 48 car into a tie for the points lead. It looked as though he would win 3 races in a row at South Mountain before a late race wheel hop cost him the victory. The lap 5 wreck at Phoenix substantially hurt the 48's chances of winning the Season 2 championship in his final full-time season, as he sits 18 points behind Kevin Harvick. While his chances seem slim, Jimmy has come in clutch before. Starting on the pole for tonight's race, will he come in clutch and win the Season 2 title? Kyle Larson has hit highs and lows in his campaign to win the Season 2 championship. Unlike the other 5 drivers, most of his highs were at the beginning of the season, starting right here at Chandler Motor Speedway. He took home the victory after avoiding 2 last lap wrecks and passing Kevin Harvick in the final corner. Then 2 races later, he took home the checkered flag at Bristol, beating Kyle Busch in a hard-fought battle in the Bristol night race. After the victories, he struggled to find consistency for a while. Yet he was able to stay in the championship fight by taking home top 10 finishes at Evergreen, both Charlotte races, and South Mountain. He was winning the Charlotte Oval race until he hit the wall with only a couple laps to go, costing him a much-needed victory. The lap 5 wreck at Phoenix also hurt Larson's championship campaign greatly, leaving him 20 points behind Kevin Harvick. Yet Larson's win at Chandler and his strong qualifying run make him a favorite to win tonight's race. But the question will be whether it will be enough to win the championship. There are your championship contenders for tonight's race. They all survived the chaos that is the Perfect 8 Cup Series Season 2, and they all see themselves with a chance to take home all the glory by winning the Season 2 championship. It will be a hard-fought battle for sure.
Yes, it will be a hard-fought battle for sure. Tonight, to decide the Season 2 champion.
Cletus, what are your thoughts?
Well, the thing we have to consider too, there's other cars in the race, so it's a full field tonight. We're focusing on all these drivers. Chandler's a very tricky track, of course. Kyle Larson has the advantage winning here, but we also have to consider the other cars in the field, lap traffic, pit stops for sure.
Yes.
Chandler's very difficult when it comes to pitting, especially under a green flag.
Yeah, that will be very interesting if we have green flag pit stops. So let's talk about those other drivers who are not competing for the championship in the field, who also have a shot to win tonight's race. So Eric Jones rolls off 3rd for tonight's race. He has shown speed out of his Toyota Camry this weekend. Cletus, what do you think of Eric Jones?
Well, he has a lot of talent. He's been fast all weekend. He has 2 top 5s, 7 top 10s, but he really hasn't competed for a win this season. But tonight could change.
It could. And let's talk about Hendrick Motorsports real quick. William Byron, Alex Bowman, and Chase Elliott. William Byron rolls off 6th for tonight's race. Alex Bowman rolls off 9th, and Chase Elliott starts 14th. Hendrick has been fast all weekend here at Chandler.
Yes, they have been, and Byron and Bowman have really struggled this season, but they have shown a lot of speed this weekend. I wouldn't count either one of them out for tonight's race, at least being competitive. And, you know, Chase Elliott starting 14th, and that may be so, but he really ran well the first time that we were here at Chandler.
Yeah, he did. So before we get the command to start engines, Cletus, tell me who you think will win tonight's race and the championship.
Well, I think it's going to go to Kyle Larson.
Really?
I do. Yeah, he's been good here at Chandler. You know, he won the last race, and I think he's going to race the Kolbe. He's going to win the Kolbe Academy 300 tonight. But I don't think that'll be enough for the championship. I think it's going to go to Blaney.
Wow.
I do think he'll take home the championship tonight. He's won the last 2 races, and I think he'll just finish good enough to win it on points.
Well, I'm going to stay in the front row also for my pick to win tonight's race, and I think Jimmy Johnson's going to win from the pole. And not only do I think Jimmy's going to win tonight's race, I think he's going to win the championship. You know, I'm kind of a sentimental guy, so I kind of like choosing a sentimental favorite, and Jimmy's that guy tonight. So I think Jimmy Johnson will win tonight's race in the championship. Well, it's time to go racing, everyone. Let's go trackside to get the command to start engines.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
And the drivers roll off to begin the pace laps. So let's take a look at our starting grid now. On row 1, we have Jimmie Johnson and Kyle Larson, as you can see here. And then on row 2, we have Erik Jones and then Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, of course, running for the championship. He starts 4th. On row 3, a couple drivers we talked about in the pre-race, Joey Logano and William Byron. And then rolling off on row 4, we have 2 championship contenders, Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. Then on row 5, we have Alex Bowman and Kurt Busch. They'll be rolling off 9th and 10th. On row 6, we have Ryan Blaney, 2nd in points, and Martin Truex Jr. Truex has a win on the year. Maybe he can compete for the victory tonight. On row 7, we have Eric Almirola and Chase Elliott. And then on row 8, we have Austin Dillon and Brad Keselowski. And then on row 9, we have Sam Tyler, and then Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick was running really well at Phoenix until he got wrecked on the last lap by Joey Logano. Then on row 10, we have Daniel Suarez and Clint Bowyer. And then on row 11, we have Chris Buescher and Ricky Stenhouse. And then on row 12, we have Paul Menard and Lawrence Tyler. On row 13, then, we have Ross Chastain and replacing Ryan Newman and Ty Dillon. And then on row 14, we have Bubba Wallace and Ryan Preece running the 47 car. And then on row 15, we have Michael McDowell and Jamie McMurray. And on row 16, we have Matt Tyler and Mike Snyder. On row 17, then, we have Regan Smith and Corey LaJoie. And then on row 18, we have Michael Castro and David Reagan. Then on row 19, we have JJ Yeti and Reed Sampson. So race analysis for tonight's race. 25 laps, pit speed 45 miles per hour, pit window is 17 to 19 laps, and a day to night transition, so track will start out slick, and then it's going to gain grip as the night continues. So the pace car is pulling off, and we're set to go racing here at Chandler. Here we go. Green flag in the air, and we are racing.
Good start for Jimmie Johnson, definitely. Looks like Kyle may have spun his tires.
Just a little bit as we go through turn 1, heading into turn 2. Erik Jones challenging, and
3 wide.
Kyle Busch going outside, 3 wide as we get a flyby field down the backstretch. 4 wide for a sec. 3 wide looks like Blaney was in the middle as we go through 3 and 4. Byron's in the wall.
Like
oh boy!
In the wall. Looks like Truex may have got into him as well.
Might have. We go on beginning lap 2. Jimmie Johnson finding a challenger in Erik Jones. As we see here on the right side of the screen is our current points. And Erik Jones
passing on the outside, going for the pass. Looks like he got stalled out a little bit, but look at Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle Busch looking to challenge for the lead as we got a 3-way battle for the lead. As we come through turn 4, and Jimmie Johnson is going to lead that lap. Looks like Kyle's going to try and push Erik Jones by on the outside.
Those 2 Toyotas are strong, working together, teaming up against that Chevy. We'll see if Erik Jones can get something done on the outside here.
Looks like Kyle Busch is going to give another shove as Erik Jones goes to the lead. And now Kyle Busch finds himself challenging Jimmie Johnson for second as let's go to pit road with Mary.
William Byron's crew is going to hammer out the right side of the car. Byron spoke over the radio after he hit the wall and simply said, "Sorry guys, I got really loose."
Thank you, Mary. As we get back to the racetrack, as we got a battle for 7th between Kevin Harvick and Ryan Blaney. Blaney's going to the inside.
Blaney's car has really looked alive, really come alive towards these last couple laps.
He has, as he's going to try and take 7th. He's going to get it, and looks like Hamlin's going to pass Harvick, and that's going to put Harvick and Blaney at a tie for the points lead.
I wonder if Harvick's got something going on with his car.
I don't know. As meanwhile, we go back to our battle for the lead between Erik Jones and Kyle Busch. We got trouble. Looks like Stenhouse and Bowyer. Caution is out as we have a 2-car wreck here on out of turn 2. As let's take a look at the replay. Looks like Byron was coming out of pit road.
Yeah,
and
looks like that may have been Byron. Stenhouse didn't really give any room.
Yeah, Stenhouse didn't give any room to the
really
14.
didn't have anywhere to go, and that really affected Stenhouse too.
Yeah, both those guys go around. As we take another look, yeah, Bowyer had to go up and it hit Stenhouse. Stenhouse, good, he got lucky. He didn't get hit by his teammate Ross Chastain there. So we look at another replay. Byron he had nowhere to go, and Stenhouse didn't give any room to Clint Bowyer. And that's
And we saw what happened. Clint Boyer hit Stenhouse and then right into the wall. And that's a tough break for both Clint Boyer and Stenhouse. As we see Clint Boyer coming on the pit or into the garage. His day is done. As looks like Stenhouse is going to be able to continue. As we're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back from Chandler.
Ever dreamed of driving a real Cup car? Well, now you can. This is the fan controller.
What the? Tony, what are you doing? It's possessed.
That was completely inappropriate.
I'm out of here. Run, Sandy, run for your life.
What was that all about?
Welcome back to Chandler Motor Speedway for the Kolbe Academy 300. As let's go to our pit reporters to get some quick updates for tonight's race.
There was a discussion amongst the Joe Gibbs crews after the yellow flag. After some chatter, the 20 team agreed to pick the outside lane on the restart, giving Kyle Busch the more dominant inside lane for the restart.
Jimmy Johnson is happy with the way his car is running. He said over the radio that he thinks they may have a race-winning car. The car is getting through the middle of the corner as well, leaning just a bit to the loose side, just the way Jimmy likes it.
Blaney says the car is a little bit on the tight side. The crew is talking about making air pressure adjustments when Blaney makes his pit stop. Hamlin is not too happy with his car. He says he needs major adjustments if he wants to win tonight's race. Harvick is battling a loose condition. Mary?
Ricky Stenhouse is back on the track after a lengthy pit stop. The crew hammered out the left rear opening and put 4 sticker tires on the car.
William Byron is now 1 lap down after the free pass. He's been apologetic over the radio to the crew.
And the pace car is pulled off, and we're set to go racing here at Chandler again as we're back racing. And 3 wide already. Bowman diving to the inside. And Kyle Busch finds himself battling with Alex Bowman. Who would have thought? As we are 3 wide, Eric Jones is falling like a rock. That decision. Whoa, Blaney! What? Wow!
Save.
Blaney, an amazing save as we were 5 wide on the batch, which looks like Chase Elliott going to take a 3 wide.
How he managed not to wreck that car, I do not know.
Yeah.
Bowman looking strong.
Yeah, Bowman's looking strong, and look who's in second now.
Kyle Larson taking advantage.
And looks like Jimmy Johnson's trying to battle his way back up to the front as he's battling with Kyle Busch for 3rd. As we can see here, looking at the right side of the screen, looks like Ryan Blaney has fallen to 6 points back on Kevin Harvick. He was once in a tie for the points lead, and it doesn't look like he is anymore. As looks like we got a battle for 4th, and now we got a pass for the lead. Kyle Larson to the inside of Alex Bowman. Looks like he's going to clear Bowman. Bowman's going to fall back in the 2nd. Kyle Larson looks pretty strong for this.
He certainly does. He really powered up to that 88 to make that pass.
He did, and look who has just taken 4th place away from Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick. That's going to put more of a gap between him and Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney not able to do anything right now as he's 8 points back on Harvick. That's a lot to overcome. Man. And looks like we got another pass for the lead. Looks like Bowman getting a shot from Johnson, heading into turn 1. Oh! Larson! No! Harvick's in it! Both Larson and Harvick get caught up in a crash. The points leader, Kevin Harvick.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Boy, that's going to be difficult for the 4 car.
That is a heartbreaking finish to Harvick's season, and Kyle Larson's championship hopes are dashed now. As let's take a look at a replay and try and see what happened here. Looks like Bowman went to the inside, and I think Larson just lost.
Looks like he just got loose.
Yeah, just got loose.
That is a tricky corner. Very, very much so.
Yeah, it looks like he just got loose.
Yeah, it looks like he just overcorrected there,
and then I guess
Harvick was just a unfortunate casualty in that one. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm guessing Harvick was just wrong place, wrong time. I guess Larson lost control, and went down into Harvick, as we see here again. Larson just pounds that outside wall hard. Man.
Just really bad break for the 4 car.
Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch both missed that wreck barely. Man. That could have almost been disastrous for them too. But it's disastrous enough for Kevin Harvick. What a tough break for Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, very definitely.
And we got pit stops. Let's go down to pit road and check in for pit reporters and see what these guys are doing for their pit stops.
Alex Bowman has been happy with his race car. He wants no adjustments to his 88 car, just 4 tires and fuel. John?
They are going to take 2 rounds of wedge and make an air pressure adjustment to the 11 car to try and loosen them up. Matt?
It's been a good run for Kyle. He just wants 4 tires and fuel.
Brian Blaney got a lot of nice saves from his crew over the radio after his save on the backstretch. Blaney wants 4 tires and fuel with an air pressure adjustment. John?
Jimmy Johnson has been really happy with his race car. The crew is going to make a slight air pressure adjustment, but other than that, just 4 tires and fuel.
And the race off pit road, Alex Bowman, it looks like Jimmy Johnson gets second off pit road, Hamlin third, Busch fourth, and Jones fifth. As let's take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back from Chandler.
I'm Jimmy Johnson. Boom, confetti. I'm Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy, customers love the new paint color. It's your beard.
Oh, wow.
And living legend, Jimmy Johnson is on aisle 8.
Dawn, this is all great. Maybe a little much.
I think we're playing it pretty cool here.
I'm Jimmy Johnson. Boom, confetti.
This year, winning means more, and Jimmy Johnson would do anything to win. He'd take 2 tires instead of 4 with laps to go. He'd wait till the final turn to make his move. He'd lock another driver in a porta potty and then go eat a steak sandwich. He'd even sleep in his car to be first at the track. If it would help him win, he'd do it. Because Jimmy Johnson would do anything to win.
Welcome back here at Chandler, and we're going green again as we get the green flag on lap 17. We're back racing here.
I am really surprised the 11 did not try and go 3 wide.
Yeah, I am too. But it looks like it's going to pay off anyways as Bowman washes up. Hamlin going to the inside, heading to turn 2. And Johnson makes it 3 wide. He gets a shove from Kyle Busch, heading into turn 3. Whoa, Hamlin gets loose. He almost loses it. We got trouble behind them. Big red, Kurt Busch.
Oh, multiple rolls. Wow.
And a caution, that's going to be a red flag.
Red flag.
Huge wreck in turn 3 and 4 as the red flag is thrown. A frightening crash. So we hope, yes, that Kurt Busch, Chastain, and Reddick looks like they're all okay after a scary wreck. I think Ross Chastain flipped over in that wreck too, Cletus. And then Tyler Reddick, he's going to be 0 for 2 in both his Cup starts.
That is too bad.
So we look at a replay. Hamlin got loose there, and then looks like Kurt Busch, same spot, and just got plowed into the outside wall by Ross Chastain, and I think that might have propelled the flips. As we see here, Keselowski, Sam Tyler getting caught up in it. They go for a ride. Kurt Busch just hits that wall head on. Oh, man. And then Chastain flips over. Looks like Amarola and Menard just get caught up in it. It looks like Chris Buescher at the last second gets caught up in the wreck. Man. Wow. Chandler's known for its bad wrecks. We've seen it here so far. Our other 2 times we've visited the track. Here's the thing I'm wondering. Hamlin got loose right there on the apron. And that's what led Kurt Busch to wreck. I wonder if there was something there.
Almost looked like the left front of Kurt Busch's 41 car pinched that knot of grass there on the corner too. It could have upset him.
That could have happened too, yeah.
Unfortunate way to end the year for these guys.
Yeah, Kurt Busch almost won the Chandler race here, but he got wrecked by Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, and Tyler Reddick, both out of this race. Eric Amarola, his year is done. 1 win on the season, pretty good year for a guy like Eric Amarola. Paul Menard was caught up in that wreck. Chris Buescher, he ran well at South Mountain, but that's all we can say of him. As let's check in with our pit reporters.
Jimmy Johnson was able to capture the lead just before the caution came out. The crew asked Alex Bowman to check if there was any damage from the contact they made coming out of turn 3. Bowman said there's no visible damage to the 48 machine. Matt?
Ryan Blaney finds himself second in points after the lap 17 shakedown. The team told Blaney that he needs to pick up a couple more spots to put himself back in the points lead. Roger Penske was just on the radio with his young star. Mary?
Denny Hamlin came over the radio once the caution came out. He said that there was something slick on the turn 3 apron, which caused him to get extremely loose. The crew told Denny that if he wants to win the championship, he needs to win the race.
Kyle Busch is going to restart 4th once the race resumes. He has been quiet over the radio. The crew just told Kyle the point situation. You need to win the race and hope Blaney falls back a few positions.
Alex Bowman will restart 2nd once the race resumes. It has been a good night for the 88 team. There is no team orders coming from the Hendrick camp. If Jimmy is going to win the championship, he's going to fend off his younger teammate. Back to you guys.
Thank you, pit reporters, as we'll get the rest of the track cleaned up, and we'll take a quick commercial break and be right back from Chandler.
With our patented Hex-Tech grips, Cobalt tools are tough to put down.
Try it now.
What are you doing up there, Jimmy? Welding, Chad? Get in the car. Pipe wrench. Hey, Jimmy.
Cobalt tools, tough to put down. Available exclusively at Lowe's.
Welcome back here from Chandler Motor Speedway for the Kolbe Academy 300. As we have finally gotten the yellow flag, looks like we're going to get one lap to go before we go green. Let's check in with our pit reporters again.
Brad Keselowski has pulled his number 2 Ford Fusion into the garage. The team looked over the damage from the wreck and decided that they were unable to repair it. It's a disappointing end to the season for a man who was once the points leader.
Sam Teller has also pulled his 81 Ford Fusion to the garage. The team realized that the damage was too much to repair. This would be Sam's 3rd straight DNF, a very disappointing end to the season for the 81.
And we got the pace car off, and we're set to go racing with 6 laps to go here at Chandler. Here we go, green flag, Jimmy Johnson and Alex Bowman lead them to the restart. We head into turn 1, side by side. Jimmy has that points lead by 1 point over Ryan Blaney.
Boy, real surprising though, he didn't go 3 wide again.
Yeah, and look at this!
And now he is in
4 wide! Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin both trying to make a move. They back off into 3, and Jimmy Johnson is going to clear them. Heading into 4, here comes Eric Jones to the inside.
Bowman had a good push off turn 4.
He did, and he's going to battle with Eric Jones for second. Meanwhile, Jimmy Johnson has taken the points lead. And looks like we're tied now as Ryan Blaney has gotten all the way up to 3 wide. And looks like Blaney's trying to make a pass for 7th, and Joey Logano, his teammate, goes underneath him. And looks like Blaney's going to remain tied as we head through 4, and looks like if Blaney completes this pass, he's got the points lead, and he does. As he goes to 7th, and he's 1 point up on Jimmy Johnson. But Jimmy's doing all he can, and now he's got Chase Elliott right behind him. As Elliott has come all the way from 14th as he's going through, we go through turn 3 and 4. Coming out of turn 4, 3 laps to go here at Chandler. And Chase Elliott is all over Jimmy Johnson's bumper heading into turn 1. Looks like Blaney still has a point over Johnson, but that may change real quick as Chase Elliott challenging Jimmy for the lead. Not able to clear the pass there as he dives low in turn 3. Side by side through turns 3 and 4. Coming out of turn 4, Johnson's still holding strong. 2 laps to go.
Bowman's gaining 2.
Bowman's coming to the spot. Blaney is 2 laps away from winning the championship. If he stays strong, he's got it. As meanwhile, back up front, Chase Elliott to the inside of Johnson. Slingshot as he goes to the inside. Johnson, side traps. Not going to work. Chase Elliott to the points lead, or excuse me, to the lead. Johnson trying to challenge underneath. Again, white flag. Jimmy is Blaney's 1 lap away from winning the championship. As he's up to 6. Meanwhile, coming through turn 1 and 2, Jimmy's wants to at least win one more race on the year. As he tries to go high and low on Elliott. He dives in low in turn 3. Coming through turn 3. Can he clear him? No. Chase Elliott's going to hold on the outside, and he wins here at Chandler. Chase Elliott wins at Chandler. Ryan Blaney comes across in 6th place. And your Perfect 8 Cup Series champion. Ryan Blaney is your Perfect 8 Cup Series Season 2 champion. As he's going to get a bunch of congratulations from Stenhouse and Logano. Logano going to give him big congratulations. And just a great drive by Blaney. He finishes 6th and manages to hold on and win the championship. Wow. As let's take a look at the moves which won Blaney the championship. We got to take a look at the save again, Cletus. This was amazing.
Unbelievable save. Getting a push there from Harvick. A little bit too much of a push. Good thing there's concrete there instead of grass. But yeah, just a great save.
He had an amazing save by Blaney. And then this is the move which clinched him the championship. He had to pass Joey Logano to break out of a tie with Jimmy. And if Jimmy would have won, he would have taken home the championship if they remained tied. He goes to the inside and passes Joey Logano, and that ultimately won him the championship. As Ryan Blaney comes around the front stretch, looks like Chase Elliott's doing some donuts right now, as he wins his first race of the season, gets redemption here at Chandler, as he goes to congratulate the 12 of Ryan Blaney, and looks like he's going to head to victory lane and leave the front stretch to Ryan Blaney. As Ryan Blaney now set to celebrate his championship, as here he goes. And he begins his burnouts, and I'm sure these will be the best burnouts and the most memorable burnouts of his career. Man, congratulations to Ryan Blaney. We'll take a quick commercial break and be right back here at Chandler.
This season, Jimmy Johnson knows that there's nothing more painful than losing. Not running out of fuel on the last lap. Not getting hit in the ear with a frisbee while jogging through the infield. Not getting a paper cut, then making fresh squeezed lemonade. Losing is even more painful than rescuing a baby porcupine from a thorn bush. Raising it as your own. Then releasing it back into the wild.
Goodbye, Prickle Bear.
Jimmy Johnson knows that if losing didn't hurt, winning wouldn't feel so good.
Welcome back here at Chandler Motor Speedway, as Ryan Blaney is busy celebrating his first ever Perfect 8 Cup Series championship on the front stretch, and Chase Elliott is celebrating his first win of Season 2 right here in Victory Lane. So congratulations to both those guys. I'm sure they'll have long celebrations. As let's take a look at our finishing results. Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, Alex Bowman, 1, 2, 3 for Hendrick, pretty good. Followed by the Gibbs drivers, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, 4th and 5th. Blaney, Jones, Truex, Stenhouse, and Logano round out your top 10. Austin Dillon finishes 11th. Daniel Suarez finishes 12th. Jamie McMurray 13th. Ryan Preece 14th. Looks like Wallace McDowell, Ty Dillon, Mike Snyder as we keep going on. William Byron finishes 21st after that lap 1 incident. As we look through the field, Brad Keselowski, Sam Tyler, Chris Buescher 28th, 29th, and 30th. As we take a look, Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson, after all their hard work, will take home 36th and 37th. Tough break for those guys. I mean, amazing seasons, and have it come apart here at Chandler is just a really tough way to end things. As let's take a look at our official final point standings, as Ryan Blaney wins the championship by 7 points over Denny Hamlin, 11 points over Jimmy Johnson, 12 over Kyle Busch, and Harvick by 28, and Larson by 48. Keselowski, Amarola, Eric Jones, and Truex round out your top 10 in points as we go through here. Chase Elliott will finish 11th in points. That win really boosts him up in the points. Joey Logano, not a great season, still finishes 12th in points. Alex Bowman, 13th in points. And Ryan Newman He missed 2 races and he finishes 14th in points. That's a pretty good season for the Rocket Man. As we look back here, Daniel Suarez finishes 23rd in points, and Stenhouse also in the 20s. Not a great season for Stenhouse as we go through the rest of the field. A lot of these drivers ran part-time, like Chris Buescher, Matt Kenseth ran select races. So, not bad points finishes for them.
Well, it's been an exciting night here in the desert at Chandler Motor Speedway. We saw an exciting race with a great battle up front and great battles throughout the entire field, and of course an exciting battle for the win. In the end, we saw Chase Elliott prevail over his teammate Jimmie Johnson for the win, and we saw Ryan Blaney cruise to his first P8 CS championship. Cletus, what did you think of tonight's race?
Definitely an exciting race, that's for sure. I had a lot of fun calling this.
Me too.
The last 2 years has been great. Congratulations to Chase Elliott. He ran a fantastic race, coming all the way from 14th. We were talking about it in pre-race that he had a shot, ran all the way to the front. We talked about Hendrick Power. It certainly showed with Chase Elliott.
Yes.
He had a hard luck loss our last time here at Chandler, and I'm sure this win makes up for the loss, and it's a good way to end the season for him. Jimmie Johnson also fought very hard all night long to win and the championship, but in the end, kind of what we talked about before the race, Blaney drove a solid race, did what he needed to do to win the championship.
That's all that matters.
That's right.
And he goes home with the hardware.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree. That's all we have here from Chandler tonight. Thank you for watching the Perfect 8 Cup Series season finale here in the desert at Chandler Motor Speedway. Congratulations to both Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney for winning the race in the championship. Thank you for watching. God bless and good night.